welcome back to the Blissful Heart channel. I am Desiree Lee, here to give you your weekly Bliss Fix, specifically for twin flames on the 3D physical plane for the week of April 13th to April 19th, 2017. Hey, welcome back to my channel for all my subscribers, and for anyone that's new, I do twin flame readings for the 3D and the 5D plane. I do them 2 separate readings, and I do them every week. So stay tuned. I want to thank all of my subscribers. Really, I thank you guys every week, and I really want to do that every week because I want you to know how much it means to me to have you supporting me and what I'm doing and trying to share the love and light of truth of God with you in this twin flame journey, which is just so wild and crazy. I am currently getting ready to go on a little trip to see my twin, and so I am pre-recording the readings a little bit more in advance for the next 2 weeks. And the only drawback of that is that I don't get to do like the little weekend review that I love to do with you guys. But the positive aspect is that you're going to still get your weekly readings, which I don't want to leave you high and dry. So I am premeditating and planning and preparing and making these videos for you so you have the videos to watch every week. So we do have Mercury in retrograde. It went retrograde on the 9th. And so we're taking a look at I feel like Mercury retrograde gets a really bad rap, because it really is about slowing down. Okay. So I feel like, in this ascension process, there's so much acceleration and we're always trying to look at the next step, that Mercury retrograde gives us a nice chance to kind of slow down and reflect and look and don't make hasty decisions. And, there can be some communication issues or technical issues. And I find that when those happen, they're there to talk to us or to communicate to us through God. It's a message, it's a symbol, it's something to share and learn and grow from. So please just take every opportunity you can to look at where you're feeling any kind of dysfunction in your communication or in your technology, and look at what you're doing, what your mental aspects are when you're doing it, when it happens, when there's some kind of issue that arises. That's an opportunity for you to take a peek at what that issue is and try to fix it, So I do still have that Instagram challenge. It started for the month of April. If you want to win a free 20-minute reading with me, check the description box below and you too can participate in winning a free reading with me. I know, I forgot to mention this in the 5D, and I wanted to mention it here. The calendar that is set up on my website is an appointment scheduler. Some people have gotten a little confused about setting a date and if they're getting their reading on that date and yada yada. So just to be clear, that scheduler is set up so that I can give you a ballpark about when you will realistically get your reading. I set it up like it is, and I haven't found out a better way to do it at this point in time, but it's a way to kind of control the influx of orders so that I don't get totally overwhelmed with too many orders on one day and then have to try to get them all out within 1 to 2 weeks. So it gives you an idea of how many orders are in front of you and then when you're going to actually get your order. And so if you actually are looking to have a live, you want to talk to me on Skype, those are Skype readings only. They're not for any other reading. Everything else is either pre-recorded, all the yes, no's, or email. So I just want to try to clear that. I feel like I made that effort in my recorded video on how to order a reading, but I do need to update that because I have some new order options, or they're not that new anymore, but I have some new types of spreads that I can do for you. So anyway, let's get started. April 13th to the 19th, Twin Flames in 3D. Spirit of Love and Light. What is the overall energy of Twin Flames in 3D, April 13th to the 19th? What would you like to tell us? What is important for us to know for this week? Financial discipline, card 48. It's so funny, because the 5Ds always get these cool, follow your dreams, live your life, manifestation, destiny, and in the 3D it's very money, learn how to budget. We really are in a 3D experience, right? We're learning how to be an adult. Let's take a look at the Romance Angel cards to back up this financial discipline card for Twin Flames 3D, March 13th to the 19th. Healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Isn't that fun? We don't get the fun stuff in the 3D anymore. Okay, so let's pull those cards up on the screen. Well, they're really like totally two different conversations, right? So card 48 is about financial discipline. And, I posted on my Facebook, on my private page today, like, I am a money magnet. Like, this is really about like abundance and learning how to control the money that's coming in and out of your life. And it is very much specific about money. I mean, we do have tax season coming up. I mean, this is like very real 3D world stuff. Like how are you doing with your money? Are you learning how to budget and save? And like in my case in particular, like I'm looking to move and you need to save money to move, right? So it is like a message about like managing your finances better. And even Spirit's like saying, even considering hiring an accountant or somebody that's going to help you get there. And that specifically applies to people that are in an entrepreneurial experience. But like, I do feel that like, we get kind of airy fairy in this twin flame experience in particular, but yeah, I think a lot of people do in general. And it's important to like get, really literal with things, to get really grounded in this energy of money and budget and finance and planning and thinking ahead. Yeah. So I'm definitely getting like an energy of thinking ahead. And then on the romance angel topic, we have this healing family issues. So your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Wow, there's like so much with that. And I got to tell you, like in terms of like my journey as a human being on this planet, my evolution and forgiving my parents is a slow and steady progress. And just when you think you've forgiven everything, something new will pop up. I've been doing a lot of like womb healing, like for the feminine womb, and accessing concepts around the mother. And, I mentioned last week that I have no intentions of having children in this life, but just like kind of reflecting on why I'm making that choice and like what is entailed in being a parent. So I do feel that this is kind of multi-layered in terms of like forgiving your parents, looking at the roles that your mother and father have placed upon you that you have taken on or have rejected, right? And really looking at the impact of how you were raised and how it's influencing your current relationship with your twin. And then also taking a look at more like personal issues in terms of your concept of being a mother or a father and what you're demonstrating in that aspect, right? So for those of you that have kids, it's a very real and like you can touch it and feel it because you're actually being a parent. And then for people in my space that aren't choosing to have children, looking at like what aspects of yourself maybe are you denying, or like how are you a mother in other aspects, right? Like I find that I mother other things. I have 2 dogs, I mother them, and then I'm a yoga teacher, I mother my students, like and just finding that like mother and father energy, right? So I'm just feeling more like mother-father energy. Oh my gosh, I could go on days and days and days for that. But, I want you to go ahead and kind of sit with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the heart mind action with the psychic tarot of the heart, and then I'll pull the dreams of Gaia, and then I'll go ahead and pull a Rumi card. So we're going to look at the Divine Masculine's heart space 3D, April 13th to the 19th spirit. We have new vitality. Oh my goodness, I feel like this showed up in the 5D last week for the Divine Masculine. And now it's showing up in the 3D. Or maybe it was in the 3D last week. Gosh, I can't remember. And then for the Divine Feminine, in her heart space, she has Opportunity Beckons, card 4. I'm getting a big money hit on that, but we'll see as I pull the rest of the cards. And so then for the mental space of the Divine Masculine 3D, the 13th to the 19th, we have Simply Love, card 6. Beautiful, in his mental space. And then for the mental space of the Divine Feminine 3D, April 13th to the 19th, we have Flow, card 10. Again, I'm getting a lot of money stuff on the Divine Feminine side here. And then for the Divine Masculine in his action space, 3D spirit, April 13th to the 19th, what is he doing in this twin flame experience? Ooh, another 6. That's 2 6s on the Divine Masculines. Healing begins. And I always think of 6s as union energy. And then for the Divine Feminine in her action space, spirit, we have Sacral Chakra, card 2. That showed up in the 5D in the exact same spot for the Divine Feminine. So then we go to the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, and they're going to either echo or add on to the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. In the heart space for the Divine Masculine, we have new vitality and 12 of water, the counselor. Okay. Yeah, he's taking on more responsibility. And then in the heart space for the divine feminine 3D, we have opportunity beckons and the 2 of earth. Ooh, I'm seeing this as like balancing. Oh, there's a lot. I mean, it's money, like big time on the feminine in this aspect. And I really do find that that numerology card that I pull in the beginning as the overall energy tends to really influence the divine feminine side. And I always like to just remind you that this energy can crisscross. Yeah. So then in the mental space for the divine masculine, he has simply love and journey. Card 17. Simply love and journey in the mental space. Okay. And then for the divine feminine, we have flow. Ooh. Okay. And that was too many cards, Spirit. Please, if they're meant to come out, go ahead and bring them out again. The divine feminine has flow and the 8 of air. 8 of water. I always do that with the air and water. 8 of water. And okay, with flowing and yeah. And then in the action space, the divine masculine has healing begins. Ooh. And the 10 of water. Divine masculine has like so much like feminine energy lately. Like I feel like that's just a consistent theme with the divine masculine. And then the divine feminine has sacral chakra in her action, 3D spirit, April 13th to the 19th, and the 6 of water. This actually showed up in the heart space of the divine feminine in the 5D. So it's showing up as the action space in the 3D. I really think the parallels are quite fascinating. And then Brother Rumi in Spirit of Love and Light. What is the overall message you want to give the twin flames on the 3D plane for April 13th to the 19th? Brother Rumi in Spirit of Light. 1. Card 6. Another 6. I mean, I haven't worked for this card, so I love it when I get brand new Rumi cards. But it looks really beautiful, I gotta say. All right, so I'm going to sit with the cards and I will be right back. Okay, so I sat with the cards and there's definitely some interesting things happening. I feel, I don't want to say challenging, but there's definitely some stuff that's coming up. And I feel like this kind of happened last week too, but there's still like some clearing happening with the divine masculine in terms of releasing his past. And the divine feminine is still kind of wobbling in between the 3D and the 5D energy of like totally trusting in this union and then picking up on some of the emotional energy that the divine masculine is currently releasing and letting it kind of affect her or him in a negative way. So let's go ahead and just talk about it, right? In the heart space, we have new vitality and 12, the counselor for the divine masculine. And then we have card 4, opportunity beckons, and card 2 of earth for the divine feminine. So in the heart space, the divine masculine, I feel, is feeling incredibly like rejuvenated and confident. The counselor is like talking about like being able to be someone that listens and gives advice by asking questions, right? So the counselor isn't somebody that's there to teach necessarily, but is somebody that listens really well. And so here he is in his heart space, or her, feeling all this like rejuvenation in his or her heart. And you know, the healing of the divine masculine heart is kind of a long process. And I really feel like that's what's happening on all aspects for the divine masculine, where he or she is really trying to kind of just, part of his heart is just like, this union is blessed. I love it. Oh my God, it's magical. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced. And then, you know, in the heart space in particular, it is very strong and confident in that energy. In the mental space, we'll see that there's a little bit more like turbulence in terms of this rift between the heart and the mind, which is what I talk about all the time. And it's one of the reasons why we meditate, is to kind of get clearance from our egoic mind, which likes to play tricks on us. But emotionally, in the 3D, the divine masculine is feeling like communicating on an emotional level with his divine counterpart in a very real and honest way, and being able to be there to listen and to provide questions or answers to questions in a very diligent and honest way. Okay, the counselor is actually a woman, which it looks a lot like a man, but I just want to mention that because that's like some feminine energy with the water card and the divine counselor, or the counselor in the divine masculine's heart. And so here the divine feminine in her heart space has opportunity beckons and the two of earth. And so there's a lot of things happening for the divine feminine right now, and this is what happens in the 3D plane. So there's a couple things. Like this opportunity beckons card is talking about two different things. One is about abundance and shifts in financial abundance, shifts in that very earthy energy of money. Okay, and learning how to balance and budget and finding harmony on a very financial earthy plane. Okay, and so that deals with home life as well. But then also here, this opportunity of the divine masculine being very open in his or her heart is there. And I feel like the divine feminine is really trying to figure out how to communicate in a way that isn't negative or heavy. Okay, because again, and I like I said last week, I feel like when I get these spreads, they're for the majority of my viewers, and so some of you are ahead of me, and some of you are right on time with me, and then some of you are a little bit behind me. And last week I was picking up on this too, where I feel like the messages that I've been delivering last week and this week are to people that are just slightly behind me, like a couple weeks maybe, and so I am familiar with this shifting into realizing that your divine masculine is present, right? Your divine masculine is not where he's been in this journey so far. He or she has a ton of emotion and love and commitment that he or she is offering to his divine counterpart. And so it's this opportunity to kind of deepen and grow your union. And so for the divine feminine, as she shifts from 5D to 3D, she's realizing that there's some fears coming up. And so in terms of the way that the divine feminine communicated with her divine counterpart in the 5D experience, it's now shifting, right? So we were in a space of I love you, I'm always here for you, nothing is wrong, everything is perfect, to going, okay, well then maybe there's some things that are wrong, and I would like to feel safe to share some of these doubts and fears that I have with you. And so the opportunity for the divine feminine is yes, girl or guy, you can communicate with your divine counterpart, and he or she will listen with open ears and provide you beautiful counseling in terms of either easing your fears or hearing your fears. And I feel this is the deepening of the 3D commitment. This is the deepening of a 3D real world twin flame relationship that is actually very much like any other relationship, right? Communication. There's a lot of communication energy coming through here in the heart space. And the divine feminine learning how to kind of balance hers or his emotions and communicate from a very honest and possibly a little fearful space. That's okay. But communicating not with a finger pointing at him or the divine counterpart, not you, but just going, hey, this is coming up for me. I don't know, what do you think? Presenting it as hey, I just want to be honest with what I'm feeling right now, So the divine feminine has an opportunity to kind of deepen this relationship with her divine counterpart in a very emotional way. Then we look at the mental space for the divine masculine has 6 simply love and 17 journey, and the divine feminine has 10 flow and 8 of water. So the divine masculine mentally is I am here to just love. Not only my divine counterpart, but just life in general. I feel the divine masculine has just so much support from spirit. He or she, like I said last week, has finally arrived into this new space of experiencing life. And it's not new. It's actually familiar. It's just been a while that the divine masculine has felt this goodness, this much goodness in his or her life. Just feeling everything is divinely blessed, everything's perfect. And also in the mental space, he's looking at his or her journey and being like, this is where I've been. This is what I've learned. These are the mistakes that I've made that have made this happen. Like, I feel like mentally the divine masculine is kind of in a space of reflection and acknowledgement of like, I got here by doing all these things, and some of them are good, some of them weren't so good, but like really just kind of reviewing his or her life, just like in a state of review. And so in that reviewing energy, the divine feminine is kind of feeling some like regrets possibly, or just some like tiny little doubts. They're nothing that's to be taken seriously, okay? But because we are so interconnected energetically, and like I said, I mean, this energy could easily flip-flop. That happened last week, and it can happen every week. So I just want to mention it to you every week. Like, you could easily be sitting on the other side. I feel like it could easily just go back and forth throughout the week, okay? But primarily the divine masculine is in a space of strength, and the divine feminine is in a little bit more challenging energy. So Spirit is like, whatever you're kind of sensing from your divine masculine, don't put too much stock into it, okay? It's not what's really happening. It's because he's reviewing his past. So you might be picking up on some memories that he's clearing, either consciously or unconsciously, but you might be picking up on those emotional attachments to that and feeling a little bit of trepidation or fear. And so Spirit's like, just flow. Like, this is the Wheel of Fortune. Everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to. Everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to. Everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to, and feel gratitude and appreciate. Card 8 of water. So I feel like the divine feminine is, even though she's mentally being challenged, and Spirit's like, yes, this could be with finances as well, like feeling lack or loss, you know. So again, the message on the divine feminine part is, 1 is emotional with the twin, and 2 is like 3D money, like stability, home life. Okay, so there's 2 aspects, but both aspects require the divine feminine to slip into a space of faith and trust, to surrender into whatever's happening, and be grateful. So Spirit's like, gratitude is the most powerful energy you can put out in terms of manifesting anything and everything in your life. And so as long as you stay in a space of like reflecting on what you have and feeling abundant and grateful for what you have, recognizing that your divine partnership is closer than it's ever been to full on physical union, and appreciating what you have, okay? And not to allow, like, I mean, yeah, I am feeling like a lot of divine feminines are going to be picking up on this weird kind of negative, doubtful energy. And it does, I mean, like I said, when my twin flame and I had a big break, I was getting like a lot of like this riding of a cosmic wave of like, everything's beautiful, perfect, blessed. Oh my God, I'm so grateful. Oh shit, no, it's not great. It's bad. You know, like, oh, what's this fear? What's that fear? You know, like, what if? Like all those what ifs, you know? So I'm just feeling like the divine feminine needs to not give too much energy into those what if scenarios. As if they're negative, and if they're positive, they're not what ifs, just like, this is what's happening. And to really just believe and trust and be grateful for all the goodness and the blessings that you have in your life thus far, to really take stock of all the beauty that's going on in more ways than just your twin flame experience, like in every aspect of your life, right? So the divine feminine, as usual, and I feel like, you know, that this is true for both of us, but we're always being pushed into a space of like trust, surrender, faith. Trust, surrender, faith. Trust, surrender, faith. It's always that. So then we go to the action space of the divine masculine, and you can kind of see this like synchronicity that's happening with the divine masculine. You know, we have that new vitality and counselor in the heart. We have simply love and journey in the mind. And then in the action space, he has 6 healing begins and 10 of water. And the divine feminine has 2 sacral chakra and 6 of water. So a lot of water, again, this week. So we had like that emotional union a couple weeks ago, and now there's still a lot of water energy coming through. Yeah, I mean, a lot, like 4 out of the 6 Dreams of Gaia cards are water. Okay, so the divine masculine, again, is healing. So, okay, mentally he's like reflecting on stuff. He's reviewing his life. He's reviewing the mistakes, in particular with relationships, past karmic relationships. He's in a state of review. And so there's this healing that's happening in his heart space where he's really starting to kind of let go of any lingering little fears or doubts of his divine counterpart and turning into this nightmare of a clingy, bossy, controlling woman, right? So he's really learning more trust. And in his review, yeah, Spirit's like, in his reviewing process, he's comparing, right? He's comparing the qualities of his divine feminine with the qualities of all of the women that he or she has dated. So it could be men too, right? All of the partners that the divine masculine has had previously. He or she is like comparing and going, wow, my divine counterpart isn't this, isn't that, isn't this. In fact, she is actually everything that I've ever wanted in a partner. So he's healing his heart. And this 10 of water is like beginnings and endings, right? So he's letting go of all of the hurt and pain that he has suffered in his karmic relationships, and giving himself permission to have this fresh new start. And yeah, I'm really hearing from Spirit that this is like the most whole and complete the divine masculine heart has been since his first love, which is huge, right? Like, what a beautiful, beautiful thing. Like, he's really allowing himself to slip into a space of kind of innocence in the heart. He's clearing all the battle wounds and being like, I'm safe. Like, oh yes, that's it. Like, the divine masculine is just feeling so much security and safety with his divine counterpart, and Spirit's wanting me to say, know that, divine feminine, know that your divine counterpart is feeling so much security with you. And try, again, that goes back to like, when you communicate your fears and doubts, don't do it from a space of accusing, right? Do it from a space of communicating, just from your heart. You can never go wrong when you communicate from your heart. So then in the action space of the divine feminine, we have sacral chakra and the 6 of water. So again, the sacral chakra is like super divine feminine energy on fire. It's creative, it's sexual, it's fluid like water. In fact, I'm looking like the 10 flow card, it has water elements. The 2 sacral chakra has water elements. I mean, there's tons and tons of water coming through. And so then she also has the 6 of water, which is like being in a space of expressing gratitude and compassion and love, and is trust too. So in the action space, while the divine feminine may be feeling this inner conflict, she's actually doing what I was suggesting to do, which is, communicate from the heart. The divine masculine is so receptive. And what I'm really picking up on is that, and yes, I saw this shift with my divine counterpart. It's like a brand new level of communication that is so sweet. It is so innocent and pure and good. It's like such a level of equality. Like, I feel like, the communication when the divine feminine was on her ascension journey in the 5D, and, I feel like there was an imbalance clearly in the communication between the divine masculine and divine feminine. And now that we're in this 3D experience and we're in this new stage of union, there's like new layers of communication. And this is just, I just keep hearing the word sweet. I keep hearing the word innocent. I keep hearing the word pure. So it's very young. It's very fresh. It's very delicate. It's fragile. So just think of it that way. Think of it as this nurturing, baby duck, like baby energy, just and enjoy it. It's like, enjoy this new level of communication. Yeah. Okay, so then we look at the Rumi card, card 6, 1. I thought this card was interesting. I didn't read the whole thing, but I peeked it and I was kind of like, oh, okay. I feel like it does kind of address the fears that I was talking about. Well, I'm going to go ahead and read it. I have abolished duality for myself. I have seen the two worlds as one. One I seek, one I know, one I see, and one I call. Rumi. You look for me and what do you see? You. Am I playing games with you? Holding up a mirror for you to behold God? Yes. There are games of love and truth. Look for me and find yourself, for I am you and you are me, and together we are one, playing hide and seek in love's great playground. Like molten gold poured from the furnace of divine love into a one-of-a-kind mold, you are created uniquely and of divine essence. You are both the lover and the beloved. There is no aspect of your life separate from your spiritual journey, and there is no aspect of you that is not of divine origin. So then, why the frowning, the fear or the questioning? Let me share a sublime secret with you. Let me whisper it into your heart now. There is nothing to fear. All is unfolding according to the divine genius, and there is a sweet shift in store for you. There's that word sweet that I swear I didn't read that. No matter how dire circumstances may appear to be or despairing you may feel, there is still an avenue through which fulfillment and resolution will be granted. This will happen. That is because the divine seeks wholeness of the one. That means anything in every part of existence, and that includes you in all aspects of your being and life, is claimed by the divine. Your return to the divine is demanded. Every part of you, every life circumstance, the divine keeps rigorous, flawless accounts. Therefore, nothing shall be left unaccounted for, not even that which seems to be outside divine attention and grace at this moment. This oracle comes to you with particular guidance. There is a friction or conflict within you or your life right now, a sense perhaps of being pulled in more than one direction and confusion because of this. You are questioning which path to take, this way or that. What if you choose this path and it turns out the other would have been better? But how can you know now what choice, if any, is most needed in your life? So many questions. Your mind is scurrying. There is no other word for it. Backwards and forwards it goes to and fro, trying to settle upon the truth. I love you too much to allow this to continue unchecked. Surrender it. Give it up. The truth you seek is this: you shall be. So do not fret and fear, my beloved. Do not hold back from that which feels incomplete out of anxiety or distress. It is just a lover that will soon be joined by the beloved. You are recognizing the moment before this occurs, so fret not, and instead, let that inner love loose. Allow her to shake her hair, put on her most sensuous perfume, and laugh as she dances barefoot in fields of lush grass and fragrant flowers. Let her tempt her beloved to come close because she can be seen, she can be heard. Her movement sends her scent through the air. She entices the yearning beloved to her, and soon enough they meet, and it becomes possible for, yet again, two to become one. And then there will be wild peace and ecstatic contentment within you. So this is what I was saying, right? Like the divine feminine is kind of feeling a little bit of this conflict, this inner conflict, and to trust and to surrender and to flow. And I can tell you that it works. Like if you really do that, it works. It's very functional. So this oracle brings you particular guidance. There is a resolution and a perfect coming together of elements in your life that might have seemed disparate or in conflict. Something you have been trying to integrate is so very nearly ready to click into place. Perform the sacred honoring ritual and stay with your process. The coherence, the integration, the balance, and coming together you seek is on your horizon, approaching you swiftly. In my opinion, it's already happened. You just need to realize it. You need to accept that it's here, and you can let go of any fear or doubt. Place your hands on your heart and say or listen, Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, I gaze into my heart and you are there. I gaze into your heart and see my own face. We are one. This oneness is contagious. May it swiftly affect every aspect of my inner world so that my outer existence aligns gently with perfect harmony with the great divine beloved. You and I are one with the perfection of divinity unfolding now and always through grace and my own free will. So be it. Bring your hands into prayer. And bow your head in reverence and recognition to the one divine plan unfolding, and say or listen, I surrender into the one truth of divine perfection, which includes my own divine destiny now through mercy and grace. So be it. Blessed be. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Thank you for this divine gift, this journey of love and life, of being able to be in humble, devotional service to you, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessed be everyone. Just allow. It's here. It's here. You don't have to worry anymore. It's happening and it's here. Thank you so much for watching it all the way through, and I will talk to you next week. Mwah.